Alright, top of the day, bitches. We got a fucking mess here. Actually, this is not from what I just did so much, but what was already here. We have a water pump. This is a 91 Fleetwood. Most all the Cadillacs with 4.9 are the same as far as the timing cover goes. Now, we initially did a water pump yesterday, and then we still had a leak. Now, it took a couple hours to do the water pump. It is really tight in there to try and get that water pump on and off. We did it. I've done a few of these 4.9s, and I haven't really had too much trouble. It's just a little bit of hassle. There's a couple of T45s or T47s bolts, torques right here behind the water pump pulley. You can't get the water pump pulley out until you get the water pump unbolted, and then getting at the bottom bolts. And it's kind of a dick. It's kind of a dick move by GM. But anyway, I digress. The point of this video is actually the faster way to do the job. And I'm pretty sure everybody wants faster is better than slower. What I found was the best method was actually do the whole timing cover, because that's what turned out to be the frickin' leak for me. Was the back passageway. Water pump's on the other side of this timing cover. Right now I got some silicone here sealing up. Love the Permatex Ultra Black. It's my favorite. Anyhow, I made a little bit of a mess, but it's certainly better than that frickin' orange mess shit that they had before. Anyhow, this gasket right here was what was actually leaking. It was hemorrhaging out. There was no gasket material over here at all. This one was pretty much deteriorated, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was leaking. But anyhow, being as the timing cover had to come off anyway, I had the timing cover off on this car using power tools. Now I had to drop the subframe. I found that I had to undo all 4 subframe bolts and lower the subframe down a little bit to get the clearance, to get that harmonic balancer off. It just was hit the frame. Now there are some people, and there are different models of these cars, these era cars with these engines. Some have more room on the firewall, or I mean on the frame rail here, than others. So you may or may not need to do that step. It's just the individual cars. Some cars got more room than other cars, even though they all got the same basic engine. Right now I'm in the process of cleaning this thing up as best I can. I've already got the bottom part. This is actually really freaking clean. Still working on it. It's mostly just dirty. I gotta wipe it down and degrease it a little bit from all the coolant. So I took out the front bolts completely on the subframe, took out the back bolt completely on the subframe. I think the front driver side is completely out. The rear front driver side is completely out, but the passenger side, I mean the driver side rear subframe bolt is still partially in. It's loosened. I also took out this little metal plate right here. It's 2 10mm bolts in my situation, and took out the 2 15mm motor mount bolts to the subframe, 2 15mm, well actually they're nuts, not bolts, for the front motor mount, and that way I can lift the motor up. Seriously, doing all this, I was able to get almost every single screw with a combination of, I think I only had to use a ratchet to ratchet out like 3 bolts, one of which was like a 15mm bolt back here I couldn't get at. There's another 15mm bolt stud combination going through the timing cover. Take the timing cover out with the water pump as one unit, rather than trying to take out the water pump, then take out the timing cover. You think it'd be easier? It's not. Lifted right up at the top. Pretty easy. I didn't actually, yesterday when I was doing this, I took off the tensioner, I took off the idler pulley. It bought myself a lot of room. You do take out the battery and the coolant reservoir. Battery's sitting there. Coolant reservoir is sitting right there next to the rabbit, which is an evil looking fucking rabbit statue. The only thing that I can foresee being difficult is the back water pump housing. This thing free floats back in here on a hose or something. So I would thought that would have been hard mounted to give it a fixed position, but it's not. So I think when you go to put the new timing cover in, screw those in first to get those threads started, and get that firmed up before you put in all your big main mounting bolts. And I think that'll save you a lot of fucking hassle. Could be wrong. Those will all be the little 10mm ones. Hope somebody finds this in any way useful. I'm debating right now whether or not to peel off this water pump that I just put on yesterday. It's perfectly good. It's sealed up. I don't really suspect it's leaking in any way or will leak in any way. So I'm probably just going to leave it there. If it wasn't a problem before, I don't think it's a problem now. Oh, look at this. We got some rubbing from the cam sprocket. Just the very tip. Just the tip, baby. Just the tip. So, looks like it was just barely rubbing, huh? And you can see all the orange shit from the previous person who did stuff. I mean, they got orange shit everywhere. Look at this crap. So, somebody did this job in the past, and, well, it didn't last. Peace out, bitches. Hopefully somebody learned something. If not, you learned what a freaking crazy-eyed rabbit looks like. Look at that fucking thing. That thing looks mean. That fucker looks like it's ready to fucking bite me right in the dick.